Bradley Barcola transfer bombshell, Arsenal or Liverpool? Hello everyone and welcome back to Black Maggot Media, the heartbeat of the game. A massive thank you to every listener, viewer, subscriber and football fan joining us today. We really appreciate your continued support, your comments and likes, and everyone sharing the content. Today, we have a huge transfer story involving one of Europe's most exciting young wingers, and that is Bradley Barcola. The Paris Saint-Germain star has become one of the biggest names on the transfer market, with Liverpool pushing strongly for his signature, and Arsenal also monitoring the situation. But how far has the deal actually gone? Is Barcola heading to Liverpool? Could Arsenal hijack the move? And what is PSG's position? Let's get into the latest. The latest transfer situation is Bradley Barcola's future at PSG is becoming one of the major stories of the final days of the transfer window, and Liverpool are currently the club strongly associated with the French winger. The Independent reports that Liverpool's pursuit has become one of the major transfer stories of the summer, although the Reds had not submitted a formal bid at the time of the latest report. PSG are reportedly looking for around £145 million, while Liverpool are hoping a deal could reach closer to £120 million, meaning there is a very huge difference between the demand of PSG and what Liverpool could afford. That is a huge difference, and it explains why the transfer has not yet been completed. But I'm just wondering why PSG is overpricing this guy. He has a very big price tag. I think this is one of the ways of stopping him from leaving. Because when you say £145 million, it's as if they are buying Vinicius Jr. When you compare this guy to Vinicius Jr., he can't reach the levels of Vinicius Jr. That's a very big price tag. You can see the quality which is in PSG. That is a backup player, but being sold at £145 million. This is what other teams should focus on building. This is how teams should make business. But look at the likes of Arsenal. What kind of business are they making? Martinelli, one of their best players last season in Champions League. You can remember the goal squad Manchester City. That was in a 1-1 draw. I think it was at the Emirates. Then the goal he scored in Champions League. He's a Premier League winner. But then you sell him. You price him at £60 million. So Arsenal really need to know how to make business. Look at the likes of Chelsea. Those teams can make money. So that is a very big lesson that Arsenal should get to learn. So Liverpool are clearly admiring Barcola, but PSG's valuation is making negotiations extremely complicated. At the same time, Arsenal have not completely disappeared from the picture. Sky Sports has reported that Arsenal could potentially hijack Liverpool's move for the French winger, with the Gunners considering options for the left side of their attack. So we could have a fascinating battle developing. Remember, the transfer is coming to an end. I think we are left with about is it today is 25th. We're left with about 6 days. The transfer is closing on 1st September. So those the big teams know that the transfer is coming to an end, and there are teams that have not yet brought the recruitments that they expected. The likes of Arsenal, they want to let Martinelli go. Gabriel Jesus is still around. Nwaneri's future is not yet sorted. So Arsenal could come in and hijack this deal, but I doubt whether this will really happen. And on the other hand, after letting Martinelli and Leandro Trossard go, they have only recruited the likes of Christos Zoris. So you let 2 players go, and you bring in 1 player, meaning they are still in the market. They are targeting Kenan Yildiz, but of course Juventus are adamant that they don't want to sell him. And could there be a potential hijack for Bradley Barcola? Let's wait and see. But why does Liverpool want Barcola? Liverpool's interest makes perfect sense. The club are looking for an additional attacker, particularly on the wings, after a major period of change. Remember, Liverpool have lost Mohamed Salah. They have Mohamed Salah left, so they are looking for a quality attacker. So reports, the Reuters reported that Liverpool were targeting both Bradley Barcola and Brighton's Yankuba Minte as they looked to strengthen their wide options. Minte. I'm just wondering why it is only Liverpool targeting this player. But days back, I was asking myself why Arsenal cannot go in and sign Minte after missing on Vinicius Junior, and now they are insisting on players whom teams have clearly stated that they are not on sale. Look at the likes of Julian Alvarez. Arsenal wants to sign Julian Alvarez, but of course the team itself, Atletico Madrid, want to sell the player to Arsenal. But the problem, the player doesn't want to play for Arsenal. He has his dream move. He wants to play for Barcelona. Though Atletico Madrid doesn't want to make business with the Barcelona, the player is not open on a move. But remember, days are moving. Kenan Yildiz. Arsenal wants Kenan Yildiz, but this is the game of Juventus is built around Kenan Yildiz, and of course Arsenal is targeting. But there is just a player here in Premier League, that is Yankuba Minte, well proven. That player dribbles. He has pace. So, anyway, I'm not a manager. Managers have their own priorities, and maybe Mikel Arteta doesn't like blacks, especially those players who have African origin, who play for African teams. That's why we don't have any in Arsenal. Do we have any? If there is any player who plays in any African team in Arsenal at the moment, please drop that player's name in the comment section area, and I thank you for that. Barcola offers something particularly attractive. He is quick, direct, technically gifted, and capable of beating defense one-on-one. For Liverpool, he could provide another explosive option in the final third, and reports suggested that Liverpool have already made Barcola on their one of their principal attacking targets. I tell you, if Liverpool brings in Barcola and Minte, that is a very, very, very good business that Raiola, the new manager of Liverpool, would have done. So the Independent describes the potential transfer as one that could run right until the closing stages of the window. So Liverpool are serious, but the question is whether they will prepare to pay PSG's enormous asking price. And could Arsenal hijack this deal? Now, Arsenal fans, this is where the story gets particularly interesting. Arsenal have previously explored Barcola's situation, and the Gunners are once again being linked with a potential move. Sky Sports report that Arsenal have three left wing targets of their shortlist, and that Barcola is one of the names being discussed. So there is also a very important reason why Arsenal could suddenly become more serious to hijack this deal: Gabriel Martinelli's future. With Martinelli attracting interest from Al Hilal and his Arsenal's future becoming increasingly uncertain, Arsenal could decide that they need another high-level attacker. Martinelli is leaving, and they need to bring an attacker who can take Arsenal to the next level. So in the market currently, who are those players that are available? I've already told you that that Arsenal targets Kenan Yildiz, but at the moment he's even injured. So even though you buy him, he may not pass the medicals. So the deal for Kenan Yildiz is almost impossible. So we also have Minte. Liverpool brought bids, but they have not yet succeeded. Brighton turned down the multiple bids brought in by Liverpool, so they have not yet, unless they receive a here we go time to come from, it's a few minutes to come from now. And they will also have Bradley Barcola, who is available. So let's wait and see which player Arsenal will sign after the departure of Gabriel Martinelli. So I've also prepared a video about Gabriel Martinelli's future, where he is leading and what price. So I think that video will be the next after this. Please continue with us and subscribe in order to receive the stories that we put on this podcast on a daily. So Barcola's decision could be crucial. Another important factor is the player's position. Recent reports suggested that Barcola could be open to a move to Liverpool, with the personal terms reportedly not expected to be a biggest obstacle. However, there have also been suggestions that he could consider Arsenal if the Gunners make a serious approach. So where Barcola has reached, he knows the window is coming to an end. Now, where things have reached, Barcola could be open to move to any team between Arsenal and Liverpool that can bid for him. So Bradley Barcola is still a PSG player, but his future is becoming one of the biggest transfer stories of the window. For the game PSG played recently, Barcola was on bench. He has not played in any game of the season so far, simply because his future is uncertain. Remember, when a player is being linked, his minds are no longer on this current team he plays for. That's why some of these players don't feature in those matches. Remember, even Gabriel Martinelli, he has not played in any game. Look at the Community Shield and a match against Coventry. He didn't feature in. When Christos Zolis got tired, when he was substituted, they brought in Eze to play in that number against Coventry. And yet Martinelli is available, he's not injured. So why? It's because of these transfer speculations which keep on disturbing the minds of players. So Liverpool are pushing strongly. Arsenal could potentially launch a late hijack. PSG want an enormous fee, and there are still no official agreements. Could Barcola become Liverpool's next major attacking signing? Could Arsenal shock everyone and steal the deal? We shall continue watching every development, and thank you for listening. Thank you for watching Black Maggot Media, the heartbeat of the game. If you enjoyed today's transfer update, please subscribe, like, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss on the stories that we do upload here on a daily. Thank you once again for your incredible support. Until next time, stay informed, stay passionate, and keep following the heartbeat of the game. Bye bye.